Early and influential models in this field explain personality based on three major neurotransmitter systems in the brain. The most famous of these models was proposed by Robert Cloninger. In this view, these three substances, which act as both hormones and neurotransmitters, form the biological foundation of three core dimensions of personality: dopamine and novelty seeking. Function: dopamine is responsible for transmitting signals related to reward and pleasure. Higher levels of dopamine in the central nervous system have been associated with personality traits such as excitement seeking, curiosity, and impulsivity. Outcome: individuals with higher dopaminergic activity tend to seek out new experiences and pleasurable stimuli more actively. Serotonin and harm avoidance. Function: serotonin plays an inhibitory role in signals related to punishment and aversion. For example, research shows that reducing serotonin levels through diet can diminish behavioral control in response to punishment. Outcome: low serotonin levels are associated with anxiety, pessimism, and a tendency to avoid punishing or stressful situations. Norepinephrine and reward dependence. Function: this substance modulates signals related to conditioned rewards. In other words, it affects the degree to which an individual depends on social approval and external rewards. Outcome: it is thought that individuals with higher norepinephrine levels show less dependence on external rewards and greater autonomy. 2. Sex hormones and the HPG axis, the role of testosterone and estrogen. Sex hormones, especially during puberty and adolescence when a hormonal surge occurs, have a profound impact on the development of behavior and temperament. These hormones, secreted via the hypothalamic, pituitary, gonadal, HPG axis, act as potent neuromodulators. Testosterone. This hormone has shown a positive relationship with traits such as extroversion, dominance, and aggression, and a negative relationship with empathy. An older study on adolescents indicated that testosterone is associated with certain personality factors, though individual sensitivity to it varies. However, more recent and comprehensive research does not consider these associations to be particularly strong or linear. Estrogen and progesterone. Fluctuations in these hormones across the menstrual cycle affect mood and emotions. Deficiencies in estrogen and testosterone have been linked to the development of depressive states and dysthymia, chronic low mood. 3. Stress hormones and the HPA axis, the role of cortisol. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, is secreted via the hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal, HPA axis and is another key factor. Its main function is to supply glucose to the brain under various conditions, especially stress. Role in personality. Cortisol has been associated with traits such as neuroticism, or negative emotionality. Individuals with high levels of neuroticism may exhibit greater cortisol reactivity to stress. Research challenges. Research in this area faces certain challenges. Studies have yielded conflicting results, partly due to the neglect of important intervening factors such as sampling time. Cortisol levels peak in the early morning and decline throughout the day, age, and gender. 4. A critical and comprehensive view, the bigger picture. For a proper understanding, it is essential to consider the following points. Complex interaction of systems. Hormones do not act in isolation. The effect of one hormone can be modified by the level of another, e.g., the testosterone-cortisol interaction. Moreover, the HPA and HPG axes interact with each other and with other neural systems. Developmental effects. The effects of hormones on personality can be age-dependent. Adolescence, due to dramatic hormonal changes, is a sensitive and unique period. Imbalances between hormones from different axes can contribute to emotional instability during this stage. Limitations of current research. Despite advances, there remain many contradictions in the literature. A large-scale study pooling data from over 3,900 individuals found that the associations between testosterone, cortisol, and the Big Five personality traits were very weak and often non-significant. This finding suggests that hormonal effects may be indirect, context-dependent, or heavily influenced by genetic and environmental factors. Synergy of factors. Personality is the product of a complex interplay among genetics, life experiences, environment, and neuroendocrine systems. Hormones are one piece of the puzzle, not the whole picture. Furthermore, hormonal effects can be indirect. For instance, growth hormone deficiency during childhood can affect physical and social development, thereby influencing personality formation. Final summary. Hormones do not determine personality through a fixed, predetermined blueprint. Instead, they act as a modulatory and contextual system. By influencing brain circuits responsible for reward, punishment, emotion, and stress responses, they shape predispositions and initial tendencies. However, these tendencies are always cultivated, modulated, or even overridden within the context of culture, experiences, and individual choices. To put it more precisely, hormones are one important factor in the complex equation of personality, not its sole answer.